welcome to the March 23rd episode of Beacon Web News. I'm Karesha Graham. Lots of changes are happening in the state and the country regarding the COVID-19 pandemic. Cara Fusco is here to keep you current on all things COVID around campus.
We're anticipating a change after spring break, but we're still gathering some information. So for a little bit of background, Governor Baker worked with the Department of Elementary and Secondary Education. They oversee K-12s, and they had the option to lift their mask mandates beginning February 28th. Colleges and universities in Massachusetts are much more sort of on their own. And I will say a number of our peer institutions in the state university system and private institutions are lifting it somehow. There's a really big spectrum in terms of like some schools have lifted it in student spaces, but not in the classroom. Other campuses have gone completely mask optional. So we're in the process of kind of gathering feedback right now. One big thing for us is, we're asking students to test the week that they come back from spring break. We kind of want to get a gauge on, if students were traveling for spring break, did that lead to an increase in cases? Would that impact campus? So that'll be a marker of the data that we use. So the plan right now would be to most likely make an announcement about changing provisions specific to masks sometime after spring break.
Until the mandate lifts, make sure to keep our campus safe and healthy by wearing your mask while indoors, washing your hands with soap and water for at least 20 seconds, and most importantly, if you feel sick, go see health services. Make sure to keep up with MCLA's COVID-19 guidelines. I'm Cara Fusco for BW1.
Campus police arrested James Cody, 41, of Shaftesbury, Vermont, after his car was found rolled over in the Hoosick Hall parking lot. According to campus police Chief Daniel Colono, Cody had actually jumped the curb, hit a tree, hit a parked car, and rolled over. The accident, which occurred around 12:45 a.m. on Tuesday, March 15, Cody got out of the van and left the scene. Cody was brought to Berkshire Medical Center, where he was treated for some injuries and then arrested and charged with operating under the influence, negligent operation, unlicensed operation, OUI while operating after suspension for OUI, leaving the scene of an accident and property damage. Cody was arraigned in Northern Berkshire District Court on Tuesday morning. MCLA's Computer Science Department has received a $100,000 skills capital grant from the Massachusetts Executive Office of Education to update the hardware in robotics lab. The improvements will provide new opportunities for students to receive hands-on learning experience in network security, network administration, and software development. MCLA senior Paula Kingsbury Evans is running for state representative because she believes the Berkshires need a refreshed, new voice in the state house. Kingsbury Evans is challenging Representative John Barrett III. She wants to listen and serve the community. Next week, Beacon co-editor-in-chief Katie Napier and BWN reporter David Jamina will be sitting down with Kingsbury Evans to find out more about her planned campaign. As spring sports start to prepare for their seasons, baseball and softball head to Florida to soak up the sun and play ball. Beacon Web News reporter David Jamina catches a glimpse of their trip.
During the time of a college spring break, many college students use that time to return back to their homes or travel to different places around the country to spend a week and refresh themselves in order to prepare for the second half of the spring semester. For MCLA's baseball and softball teams, though, spring break was used as a time to go on what they describe as a business trip. The teams recently returned back to North Adams this past Thursday after spending a week down in the sunny state of Florida for the first time in 2 years, playing in 9 games in 6 days, each against other NCAA Division III schools from across the country. The teams themselves played in a variety of different towns across the state, including Leesburg, Claremont, Auburndale, and Davenport.
How do you feel that the trip itself was able to help you guys in like a team chemistry aspect? I just feel like you were in a house with 5 other of your teammates, so having to live with 5 other of your teammates, whether you like it or not, you're going to see them and be living with them for that whole entire week. So it's kind of forced onto you. Like, you need to get along with these kids, and you don't really have a choice whether or not. So, and I just feel like being with the whole entire team for a week straight was the best thing for our team chemistry.
How important was it to kind of like be able to see like other competition, not necessarily in the MassCAC, but like other Division III schools, and like how do you think that it helps prepare you guys going forward for the rest of the season?
I think it's like important to see like that we saw all the other competition because we haven't seen other pitchers other than our own, and it gave us a lot of practice to like see other pitchers for hitting and defense, like knowing or figuring out different hitters and not just going like teammates up and I know how they hit, so I know what to do.
The Trailblazers lacrosse teams also saw some action over spring break. The men's team traveled to Riggs College where seniors Johnny Hibbert and Tom Aaron scored a pair of unassisted goals, tying the game 5-5 halfway through the third quarter. Despite the hard work, the Trailblazers fell 10-7. They played again on Saturday the 19th, losing 22-10 against Maine Maritime, where freshman John Hinkle scored 5 goals. Women's lacrosse went to NVU Lyndon. Freshman Julia Graham and senior Sarah Tomczyk each scored in the open minute. Graham scored 6 goals and Tomczyk scored 5 by the end of the game. This is 15-7 victory was also the first program win for head coach Allison Barbault. Upcoming in Trailblazer athletics, the men's lacrosse team will be hosting MT St. Vincent at the Shawcroft Field this Friday, the 25th at 4 p.m. The women's lacrosse team will be traveling to Sage on Saturday the 26th at 1 p.m. Wednesday the 23rd, the baseball team will be playing at the Rensselaer at 3 p.m. They will travel to Sage for a doubleheader on Saturday the 26th for games at noon and 3 p.m. The softball team will be going to Albertus Magnus for a doubleheader Saturday the 26th with games at 1 p.m. and 3 p.m. You can check out the athletics page for links to live stream games. I sat down with RA senior Kayla Ruff to look back on their time at MCLA and her plans to go to grad school.
Like many MCLA seniors, the last couple of months of school leaves Kayla Ruff looking fondly back at her time on campus while getting excited about her next big step after graduation. Being on campus for each semester, Ruff grew to love the environment and even do things she enjoys often. Ruff enjoys playing video games like Lost Ark, Minecraft, Overwatch, and watching movies like the Harry Potter collections. Ruff majors in psychology and minors in social work. She hopes that one day she'll be able to become a counselor and be successful in that field.
I had no clue really that grad school existed and what that even looked like. And it wasn't until my junior year that professors were like, hey, have you started thinking about after MCLA? And it wasn't until that I had come here that I realized that you didn't just get an undergrad and then go into psych as, a counselor or anything like that. And so I started looking and found out about, grad school in social work and decided to throw my name in the ring and got accepted.
In Ruff's case, she will be starting graduate school at Eastern Michigan University. With 21,000 students, it is both much bigger and much farther away from home than she is used to. Ruff started off her freshman year busy and was involved in a lot of activities.
My first year at MCLA, I was kind of a part of the advisory board, but I didn't do too much. And then when I became an RA and started really making connections, I joined the National Residence Hall Honorary and became secretary, and now this year I'm the president. I've been working with the site club. I work at the tech help desk.
Ruff hoped that she would accomplish a few things. Looking back, she realizes that she accomplished more than she thought at MCLA, and she will forever miss MCLA. This is BW1. I'm Karesha Graham.
On Friday, March 25th at 6 p.m., Nexus will be performing in the Church Street Social Hall, a tribute dedicated to Izzy Bounce, a beloved member of the group from 2019 to 2020. A reception will follow with appetizers and a chance to remember Izzy. For additional information, please contact Arlene at mcla.edu. Spread hope and love on March 23rd with the Free Libraries Kindness Rocks event. The event runs from 1:30 p.m. to 3 p.m. in the academic quad. You can paint and write motivational messages on the rocks to place around campus. Don't miss SAC's 2022 annual talent show hosted by musical comedian Morgan J. March 26th from 7 to 10 p.m. in the Church Street Center. Have a special talent you want to showcase? Any interested acts can sign up in the campus center or contact Erin to get your act approved. April 8th at 8 p.m., the Fine and Performing Arts Department is performing Intimate Apparel, a play written by Lynn Nottage. The play asks, what is love without passion, passion without intimacy, intimacy without trust? Esther, a black seamstress in a boarding house in 1905 New York City, seeks to find love and build her life. Ticket starts at $5. Looking to try a new restaurant? Beacon Web News reporter Sarah Tomczyk saddles up and heads over to the ranch in search of the best restaurants in North Adams.
I'm on the search to find the best spots to eat in North Adams, Massachusetts. From restaurants to cafes, this is Food Finders. In this episode, we travel on the other side of North Adams to try some hot dogs from a new owner at The Ranch. The previous establishment before The Ranch was named the Hot Dog Ranch, known for their miniature hot dogs. The Hot Dog Ranch closed in late August and reopened as The Ranch on January 25th of this year. Owner John Bradbury took on the project of creating the new restaurant. With the new name came with some changes. Bradbury explains what's new at The Ranch.
The big change would be the menu, but then we did a lot more, non-frozen foods, non-fry later foods. We did a lot of, we do wraps. We got sandwiches. Our biggest seller is our Southern Fried Chicken Sandwich, BLT, and then our Philly cheesesteak. So when people talk, I tend to listen. So when they said they wanted some more sandwiches and wraps, that's what we did. So the menu's the big change from the Hot Dog Ranch.
Even though new is always fresh, keeping the old stuff is just as important. Owner John Bradbury expresses what he keeps from the Hot Dog Ranch to keep the nostalgia.
We kept the mac and cheese bites. We kept those tiny dogs. That's the biggest thing that we kept from back then. Our number one seller is our mini hot dogs. So we knew we were going to keep that the same.
Speaking of menus, Bradbury discusses what he hopes for the future of the menu and the ranch.
Just expanding on the menu would probably be what we have to do. We have the skate park, we have the water park, we got the tennis courts and the basketball. We're going to attempt to do something with all those people there. Not quite sure what that'll be yet, but we'll figure something out there.
The ranch holds events throughout the year, such as their most recent event, a St. Patrick's Day party. If you want to celebrate the next holiday or just have some mini hot dogs, visit the ranch at 310 State Street in North Adams. From Beacon Web News, this is Sarah Tomczyk.
Summer is approaching, and with that comes tick season. Scientists are warning of a potential deadly virus found in ticks in New York State. As temperatures increases, so does the likelihood of tick bites. The heartland virus could potentially become a threat to humans. In tick-infested areas, be sure to always protect yourself. Wear long clothes and covered shoes. Tuck your pants into your socks and check clothes and skin thoroughly for ticks after being in wooded areas. The Spring 2022 MCLA Virtual Career and Internship Fair will take place this Thursday, March 24th from 11 to 2 p.m. Register now on Handshake. There will be 51 employers and recruiters that are eager to meet MCLA students to discuss employment and internship opportunities. March is International Women's Month, and to honor this month, Beacon Web News reporter Cara Fusco explores small businesses owned by women in downtown North Adams.
Women's History Month is a time to reflect on the courage of women in the past generations and to celebrate how their efforts and bravery afforded women the opportunities and freedoms we have today. I spoke to DeDe on how it feels to be a part of the North Adams community as a woman in business.
Well, basically it started when my husband and I decided to move to the area, and I applied to the farmers market, which has always been something that I'd wanted to do in my life. And I got in. So I started baking. It was the June market of last year, so it was the full season every Saturday. And I just started baking here out of my home, and we started selling out at every market and doing really great, and aligned with Julia over at the Parlor Cafe and started having muffins and cookies and stuff like that over there. Well, I'm a woman and I own a business, so no, it means a tremendous amount, mostly because I've worked for other people my entire life. I've had some amazing bosses, some of my early bosses, women in baking and landscaping. They taught me a ton about work ethic and things like that. I suppose in the state of the world, if it's a relatively unique or standout sort of thing to be a woman in business, there you go. Right now, you can do what a number of people do, either message me on Instagram or Facebook or talk to me directly. MCLA students, all students out there, check me out on Instagram. Come say hi at the market. The farmers market is happening. The winter market's amazing. Come check it out, get fresh greens, and come get my super tasty gourmet sweets.
The National Survey of Student Engagement is an annual survey that helps provide vital information regarding activities all over campus. Student participation from first years and seniors is needed to assess and improve the educational experience at MCLA. First years and seniors, check your email as you could win a $100 cash prize for participating. If you have any other questions, please contact Jason Canalis at jason.canalis@mcla.edu. If you haven't applied for the academic year 22 to 23 MCLA Foundation scholarships, you must do so by April 1st. Log on to mcla.awardspring.com using your A number without the @mcla.edu. and your MCLA portal password to log on. Please make sure you complete all sections and submit your applications when complete. Contact C.A.R.E with any questions. MCLA and MassMOCA's C.A.R.E Syllabus combines art and activism to educate the public through strategically created models. Ryan Powers attended this month's virtual event and heard from organizers Victoria Papa to learn more.
Through initiatives involving both MCLA and MassMOCA, the C.A.R.E Syllabus is a resource that aims to highlight artistic expression and activism through the lens of guest-curated modules. Presented by MassMOCA, this event features writer Maggie Nelson and artist Mark Swanson to speak on the topic of AIDS and climate change. Accompanied by images of Mark's latest exhibition, we were able to hear some insight on their creative processes and explorative thinking. In opening remarks, Victoria Papa, Assistant Professor of English here at MCLA and co-director at C.A.R.E Syllabus, tells us a little more.
Motivated by a series of pressing critical inquiries, C.A.R.E Syllabus aims to generate justice-centered discourse in a time of unrest and uncertainty. C.A.R.E Syllabus tends to artistic expression, activism, and thinking that fosters radical communal imagination. Tonight, we are thrilled to bring together Maggie Nelson and Mark Swanson to draw attention to particularities of care. In their discussion, Nelson and Swanson will touch on shared investments evident in their recent works, which explore connections between queer experience, alternative understandings of time, and climate crisis. I invite you to check out the new accompanying module of C.A.R.E Syllabus, in which members of the project's advisory collective have assembled an array of contributions to touch upon various textures of refusal that take a cue from Nelson's work in On Freedom.
In their individual sense about AIDS or about climate change, the hauntings always seem preventable and so catastrophic. But in the kind of conceptual or spiritual sense, like there's a way that, of course, these two things would come together always. So I'm just kind of curious as to what that relationship between comfort and loss or sorrow,
So it felt like I really left them and they kind of came together in that way. I felt I had to be very careful, but also really be true to how I felt about it, and creating also a memorial within that felt like a heavy responsibility, but also the only way through was just to be sort of as honest and clear as possible while keeping things open enough that people could enter it themselves.
For more information about C.A.R.E Syllabus and the resources they provide, go to their website at caresyllabus.org, where you can find Module 5 and all of the previous modules as well. I'm Ryan Powers with BWN.
Fall 2022 registration begins Friday, April 1st. Make sure to meet your advisor and receive your registration pin. If you have not been able to meet with them, please do so as soon as possible so you do not miss your registration time slot. Now from the Beacon. Co-editor-in-chief Mike O'Brien features David Jamina, his self-started clothing company, and how he combines his love for God and entrepreneurship by fundraising to support schools and orphanages in Africa. Staff writer William Shanahan covers the SGA meeting where they discuss the overwhelming workloads students are facing and possible future events MCLA might have to offer. Abby Abrahamson's weekly creature is the Odoriferous Oregon giant earthworm, a worm that smells like lilies and resides in the Pacific Northwest. Staff writer Owen Brown has the inside scoop from the baseball and softball teams who practice new skills on the diamond and learn the importance of sunscreen in the Florida heat. Co-editor-in-chief Katie Napier introduces herself as a homebody and couch potato, among many other things. You can read these and many more over at theonlinebeacon.com or pick up a copy all over campus. Isabel Mazzola caught up with the students from the Service and Leadership Capstone to hear about their upcoming service projects.
Tell me about your project.
So for our project, we are doing a little of a mixture of helping with a volunteer project to a animal shelter around. We were originally trying to bring the animals to us, to campus, to allow for students and the animals to get kind of a therapy program in and see them. But now we're trying to work on going there as well as spreading the news and trying to get other animals adopted and awareness on how to do that as well.
What are other people doing for their projects?
We know that there's one group who's doing a new mural on campus. One group is doing something with the library, the cement walkway around the outside. Another group is doing a mentorship program.
Do you remember what other people have done in the past with their projects?
One group had done a mural in the past.
What is your mission to do with this project?
We really want to help animals and help people here and just connect the two needs and just get volunteer hours and just get more inclusivity between the Humane Society and the school.
And who is in your group?
So our group would consist of myself, Vincent, Sam, Preston, you, Isabel, Cara, and Natalie as well. So we got a pretty large group, but yeah, we work very well.
And what is your team name?
Spider Pigs.
We are
We're
the Spider Pigs, yeah.
That's it for this week. To stay up to date with BWN, you can follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/MCLA BWN. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.